Good morning, everyone. It's morning where I am. I'm here in Melbourne, Florida, and Yola is also in Florida, but she's in the next town south of here. And she's a remarkable woman. Her book, Epistle of Saint, A Middle Eastern Woman's Journey to Freedom, says a whole lot about the type of person she is. But I'm going to let her tell her story, and I'll just interject questions and comments as we talk for about the next half hour or so. So thank you, Yola, for being willing to join us. And go ahead, tell us a little bit about your book and about what you've experienced that brought you to this place.
Well, thank you, Ron, for having me on your video. A while back, when people heard my story, they'll say, "Can I write your book?" But a long time ago, I was still in my lower emotion. I was in shame and blame, being a victim, and it was shameful to share my story with the world. And then finally I came to enlightenment and awakening, and it's like, wow, I really need to share my story, because how many women out there are stuck, even men, we all stuck in those lower emotions and being a victim of life and thinking I used to think God was doing it to me. I must have done something bad. And to experience God at a different level than what I grew up in my religion is totally, it's an awakening. It's total act of love. Loving ourselves is to find out who God is and how He works in our life. And the story, it's a beautiful story. It's heartbreaking though. I've been through quite a bit. And I can look back and smile now because I wrote it all down. I was a little girl when I used to hear, "Oh, this girl is so ugly, no man will ever marry her." And so my self-esteem was taken away from me. You know, my power, I gave up my power to my mother, who always thought I was so ugly, right? And how many women out there, they don't have to be told they're ugly. Maybe we are told you're not good enough, or maybe they've been molested, raped, whatever is the situation. We get stuck in these emotion of somebody else, what they want us to feel. It is their problem. It is what they're going through. It's not about us. But we won't understand that till later on in life once we grow. And for me, I really didn't understand that. I used to think I'm so ugly. When I was taken from school at age 14 in the war, they were threatening to kill my dad and brother if I don't go with them. I got married to a man who was 20 years older than me. I was a kid. It was scary, but the first thing came to my mind, my mother is gonna be happy. A man want to marry me. You know, I was a child. And the story went on. I came to the islands and I was locked in a house and not treated nice at all. Didn't speak to nobody. Didn't speak English. So I couldn't relate to nobody. Even if we went out, everybody spoke English. And here I'm sitting down, have no clue what is going on. So it was hard. And the only thing I had was the Bible, so I read the Bible over and over. It was in Arabic, and I got comfort in there. But there are times where I was upset, I cried, and I was mad at God, and why you doing this to me? I didn't do nothing wrong. And you know how we grew up thinking that.
You were raised a Christian then in Lebanon.
Yeah, I was raised a Christian, and I was raised to believe if something bad happened to you, you deserve it because you must have done something bad, you know. So, but I end up having a baby at age 16, and the whole idea of him marrying me is to spite my uncle. They were two businessmen. So at that point, he wanted me to leave and leave the baby, and I wouldn't leave the baby. and he will come and beat me every night. So I leave the baby and go. And I'll say, no, I'm not leaving my baby. So then finally he ended up starving me, you know. But I wrote my parents a letter, and in the letter I said, please come save me with my baby. And I get a letter back saying, Jesus died for us. You need to stay with your husband for the sake of your family. What people will say about us. And when I was writing the book, I'm going to show the book. When I was writing the book, I got to that point and I said, give me a break. I feel like a pissed off saint. this is where the name of the book comes from.
Well, let me tell you something, Yola. Here's another saint that's been pissed off a lot, going through the 2 open heart surgeries and some of the things that I've had to go through in my life. I mean, why put me through such awful trials that seem insurmountable? Now, each person has their own level of trials. Mm-hmm. Yours was more severe than most people, and yet look at you now. You've had a journey to freedom, which that's the second part of your title. You know, your journey to freedom, and talk a little bit about how the liberation came.
You know, after I end up with 4 kids and divorced, and the people who want to know the story, they can go into the book. It's not something we can share here. But I got to a point where I'm seeking something. I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy the way I am, but I know there is something more that I don't know. And I had the craving, you know, and it started with me watching The Secret. And I know The Secret is not everything to answer the law of attraction, but it has started a little buzz in my head. And that little buzz went, wow, I am in control while I am waiting for God to do it for me. But it is me who I am in control. I need to do it myself, and God is inside of me. And this is the message of this book is get in touch with your inner self. This is where God is. Listen to your inner self. Listen to your soul and what it is telling you, you know, and follow these little steps. And I learned, I was like a sponge. I was just absorbing one thing after the other. And it was a big, huge enlightenment to me, and awakening, a big awakening. I was in so much, in the beginning, I was scared because I thought, oh, the devil is trying to get me, because this is how we are brainwashed. And then finally I said, the devil couldn't be that bad. I feel so good. I feel so empowered. And I end up, you know, through listening to so many spiritual speakers, I end up finding the SWAT Institute, which is a coaching program.
What's the name of the institute?
The SWAT Institute.
SWAT, S-W-A-T?
Yeah, the SWAT Institute. And it is empowerment. It's women empowerment life coaching.
Okay.
And so I joined the program, and when I start to heal, even I gathered all this information in my head, but it is my heart that I need to let go of things. And through this program, I learned to let go and detach and learn to love myself as a woman, because I didn't know. I was criticized, I was abused, I was put down, and then I got divorced and everybody talked bad about me. I'm a divorced woman. You know, in the Middle East, you don't have divorced women. If you are divorced, you are a bad person. Everything is the woman's fault. And I had to let go of all these things and overgrow them, and I found the unconditional love. I start to grow on that map of consciousness from shame and blame and victim and you know, resentful feelings. And I start to get to the place where love and peace and joy. And then I start to look at other people and they're still down there while I am here. Then I was like, wow, I was there at one point. I just didn't realize it. So when I look at them, it is the forgiveness. It's like, wow, I feel so sorry because I know we all part of the one now. You know, God to me is totally different than what God was before. And the when I looked at a brother and sister, I'm talking not my own family, not just my own family, brother and sister. All of us are brothers and sisters, and we all are one in the spirit. You know, connecting to God. So when I look at them, it's like, wow, now I reach what unconditional love is all about. And I start to heal one little at a time. And I decided then, wow, I need to write my book because I have a story to tell, but the story is not the story and the drama. It is how to get out of our drama and how to reach to that place that's full of love and peace, where we feel free of all these emotional issues, you know? And so
Well,
I became
I think your story is one that will inspire a lot of people, and I think it's one that a lot of people need to hear because a lot of people do get caught. It's easy to get caught in the poor, poor, pitiful me syndrome.
right.
I've been there, and I think all of us have been there that have gone through any level of suffering. So your story is going to be inspiring and uplifting for many people.
Many people, yeah, and it touched on so many different situations. It's not just abuse. It's family situations, mother-daughter relationship, a husband and wife relationship. A lot of things in this book. That's it's simple. It is easy to read, but there is so much in there that can touch so many people's heart. It doesn't have to be just women, men too, you know. It's a beautiful book. It is my book. It has to be beautiful.
How are the sales doing on your book?
You know, we're doing really, really good. In the community, I am going all over the place, been asked to so many different churches to speak and to do book signing online. I'm telling you, it is. The book was published in December 9, and from December 9 till the end of December, because this is the last day for the quarter.
Right.
I mean, they sold worth of $4,000 of books and ebooks just in 2-3 weeks time. You know.
Wow.
So that was awesome. And it followed, you know, the next 3 months. So it's doing really good.
I'm glad to hear that because anything that uplifts people is what we need in our community. We need to be able to uplift each other and to allow ourselves to be uplifted. It's so easy to get caught in the poor, poor, pitiful me syndrome, but we need to raise ourselves out of that. And the help is there, and you're one of the helpers that's saying, "Look, I've gone through all this, and look at where what I've been able to accomplish, what I've been able to do in my life." So
Right.
it's inspiring.
You know, a lot of people wonder what is their purpose in life. And I'll say one thing to that. You cannot find your purpose while you are lost in these lower emotions. You have to rise above it. And your purpose come at just a step and you see what your purpose is all about. It's not something so hidden. It is right there. You just have to get out of your way. You know, you have to get out of your way. Most of the time we're stuck in our way and we hold the door closed because of us and our emotions and what we think. But if we learn to let go and we step up to our power, our higher power, right? Then we get to know what our purpose in life is.
You know, I'm going to, we talked about a particular church before we started, and I will not name the church now, but I am involved in the local church there and hope to be having meetings in that church on Wednesday nights. So maybe we'll be able to open some doors that have up till now been closed. I hope that's what happens.
Yes, I think so, Ron. You used to have them wonderful meetings every Wednesday night. I used to rush to finish my last patient so I can drive and be there on time. It will be awesome if you can do that and open the door again. And I want to touch on something. You getting sick and getting angry with that's a good thing, because you had to release some emotions that were there.
Yeah.
And the way you're doing your videos now are totally different than what you were doing before. And if this didn't happen and you overcome that anger is good. It is good because you need to get that emotions out. But if you stay stuck in it, it is not good. But when you let go, then the new vision come in, and it is like, wow, where was I before? How come I didn't see this? But you didn't see it because you were stuck in some place. I mean, this is for all of us, not just you. But I see now the thing that's going to come out of these videos and of the meetings that you're going to do in the church, wherever you were talking about. I think it's going to be awesome.
I really think that my future looks pretty bright because I have people in my world that are helping me with my attitude adjustments that I must make. And I'm reaching out to a lot of the local people first. I'm going to be reaching out to people internationally as well. But I'm reaching out to a lot of local people like you to let you share your story so that it'll inspire other people, and to rekindle my connection to the local community.
Right.
Which my family has lived in my house now for almost, in November, 2 years. So
Wow.
I really haven't had meetings here for almost 2 years. And that's a big gap of time, and people forget. Mm-hmm. So I'm, in a sense, I'm being reborn in all of this process.
Yes. And I hear you on that, because the same thing happened to all of us in many different ways. It's just how to look at it. How to look at it is what makes the difference in our life. And life is a positive and beautiful. And the most important thing is to fall in love with ourselves. We can give so much to the community just by loving ourselves. Because if we learn to love ourselves, when I look at you, I'm only going to mirror what I have in my heart. And I'm only going to see the beautiful part of you, I'm not going to be looking to find something to criticize. And this is what self-love is all about.
Well, the big commandment is love your neighbor as yourself. Now, if we don't love ourselves, no wonder we don't love our neighbor.
We're not going
to. A lot of people do love their neighbor as their self, and they despise themselves.
Yes.
And so that comes out in the social community. But a lot of people are going through the spiritual transformation of waking up.
A lot of people are. And you know what I realized finally? The first commandment, love God thy God with all your heart, all your mind. Well, who is God thy God, and where are you going to find him? It is right here. So when this is self-love. This is self-love, is when you love the inner self, when you love yourself good enough, unconditionally, then you're really falling in love with God. And what God, the purpose is all about, because the second commandment is love your neighbor as yourself. So when I love myself enough, there is no way I am not going to mirror the good thing in other people. There is no way.
Yeah. That's how it works. And it's a beautiful thing. And, your story is amazing, and it's going to inspire a lot of people. That's why I invited you to come on, because I know how inspirational you are. I know the type of person you've become and are still becoming. You haven't finished, and neither have I. We're becoming all that we can be.
Yes, and we are. And once we face some difficulties, then we're going to sit back and say, okay, there is a lesson behind this. It is not difficulties. Let me figure it out fast so I can move on to the next step, right?
Right.
Yes. This is awesome. Thank you, Ron. This is beautiful. It's so good to see you looking good and back to yourself. And And I love the aura around you, and and the love that's coming out of you. This is awesome.
Well, you do know that I've lost a lot of weight, don't you?
Yes, but I think you're gaining it back since I saw you
Very
one.
slowly. I'm now 2 days in a row over 170. Now, bear in mind, when you first met me, I weighed over 200 pounds.
Yes, yes.
After my first surgery, they didn't drain the water out of my lungs, and I ballooned up over 230 pounds. But I settled back down to between 205, 210,
Mm-hmm.
in that general range. And it wasn't until this second open heart surgery where they drained all the fluid out of my lungs, and I dropped down to 170, and then lost 8 or 9 more pounds on top of that.
Wow.
And I'm just now starting to build it back up to what my post-operation weight was.
Yeah, yeah. But you're looking better though. So it is coming along. And yeah, get to 200. You're too tall to be under 200.
Yes, I'd like to weigh about 190, 95 pounds. That would be, in my mind, that would be my ideal weight. I don't need to weigh 200. But if I got up to 200, that wouldn't bother me. But I want to do it naturally. It's a journey, and it's a journey of healing. And we're all on it at some level.
Yeah, and it's a journey because if we're not healthy physically, we really cannot accomplish what we need to do in this world. So, and then when you're physically healthy and emotionally healthy, and then you can step out and you can stay healthy because emotionally you're not at this lower emotions. Those emotions get stuck in different chakras in our body, and this is where the diseases start. So if I am holding some emotional issues in my heart, anger from the past, from people, it's gonna show up in this area, and probably so many women, breast cancer, some people emphysema, lung disease, or the throat where the thyroid, because so many people cannot speak their truth. So, the chakras, all 7 chakras, and those emotions get stuck in different places.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I hope this is only the first of several videos that we make together. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure it's going to inspire a lot of people. People have been complaining that sound quality on some of my videos is not what it's supposed to be. So I'm going to actually put it out there in this video, and I'll be putting it out on Facebook and stuff too. I need help how to correct these things. I don't know how to fix them. Mm-hmm. It is, all I do is press record, and it records, and something needs to be done in my computer. I'm hearing a lot of clicking noises now. I don't know whether that's on your end or my end or where it is, but I'm hearing it.
Yes.
But these are
things
that we need to correct.
Yes. I don't know where this coming from because everything is so quiet in here.
Do you hear it though?
Yeah, I hear it.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it is. Anyway, I do thank you, and hopefully this will be something that people will be able to easily listen to, and I'll get it up online as quickly as I can before I take my oldest granddaughter to school.
Great, thank you. It is so good to see you.
Thank you, Yola, Suma Nour, for sharing the initial part of your story, and we'll get back together and we'll talk again in the future.
Yes, yes. You take care, and hopefully I'll see you soon.
Thank you, and namaste.
Namaste. Take care.